Welcome to Dear Business Coach, the podcast. My name's Elizabeth. Find one thing to move your business forward today with conversations, spotlights, interviews, articles, and free resources. Listen and follow and subscribe on social media. Dear Business Coach pages and groups. Dear Business Coach podcast. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and don't forget Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, anywhere you listen to podcasts. All it takes sometimes is one little thing to move your business forward today. Well, good morning, Arndreya, and how are you today?
I am amazing. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for having me.
Yeah, this is exciting, and welcome to the Dear Business Coach podcast. What I'd like to do is read a little bit of your about section, what I would normally call a bio, but just to let you know what I'm looking at. Um, and this is a LinkedIn profile, and we're going to talk a little bit more about where you would like people to contact you. So let's get started, Arndreya. What I know about you is you're the founder and curator of Style at Like No Other Greek, based out of the DC area. So here's what I have here for you: an accomplished healthcare professional with a strong record of developing, implementing, and managing national healthcare programs requirements for the Department of Health and Human Services, known for strong ability to increase organizational efficiency and reach by conducting broad research and analysis into program issues and initiatives to develop alternatives. Recognized for ability in formal and informal management planning, policy, and decision-making sessions regarding quality improvements and changes in legislation and government policies and procedures. It's Level 3 Contracting Office Representative certified to management contracts with price value of over $40 million. So that is a lot of detail, and most of that I would even need help for you to tell me about your background and a little bit about what you do. But will you please introduce yourself, Arndreya Price?
So, as you were just reading that, I was like, I don't even know that person. That is a old bio from my LinkedIn page, and that no longer serves me. So right now, I'm currently the owner of Like No Other Greek, a Greek apparel brand that serves women who are in the Divine Nine organizations. I sell clothing to them. I make sure that women feel beautiful, confident, and strong when they wear my apparel. I have battled with weight in my past, and I want to make sure that every woman feels beautiful. So I no longer resonate with that bio. My bio now is about helping women feel beautiful and confident. And I will be adding to my bio this year to help them be fiscally responsible and be able to leave their 9 to 5 like I did. So that is me in a nutshell.
Oh, wow, that's exciting. Thank you for letting me share the background, and for you saying that's not me anymore, and here's what I do, and here's what's coming up this year. So that is really what the Dear Business Coach podcast aims to do, is to say, tell me all about what you're working on. And when we met before, I know that you had shared some details about what your focus is for women, and your goal there, and how you're communicating through, I would say, communicating through your brand. And what it sounds to me like you are also interested in doing is telling us about your your transition, right? There's a message and a story behind where you are today. So how did your brand start?
So my brand started because I worked on a brand similar to this with a partner previously. And what happened was the brand was going really well, but she didn't want to grow the brand any longer. And I was just like, look, there's too much money to be made. So during the pandemic, what I decided to do was to branch off and start my own. Specifically, I had an incident where I knew something was wrong with me. I called the doctor and they were like, well, there are no appointments today. And by noon, I called back and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but like I have to be seen by somebody, the front desk staff, like it didn't matter who. Excuse me. I just needed to be seen because I knew something was wrong. And I mean, I'm joking about the desk staff, you know that, but I just needed to be seen by somebody. And they were like, oh, well, somebody actually just canceled, so you can come right on in. And when I got there, granted, my doctor's is literally, it's across the street, like it's not far. Um, the doctor was like, how did you get here? And I was like, I drove. She was like, you should be so lightheaded right now that you shouldn't be able to drive. Like, she was like, your mind should be foggy. And that was because my blood pressure was sky high and I was having panic attacks. But I did not know all of these things. I just knew that my body was not right. And so after that, she put me on FMLA. And then during that time, I just decided that I was going to go in all for Arndreya and I was going to trust myself on this business and yeah, and I was going to figure it out. So that's how I got started in it.
Hey, listeners, don't forget to subscribe to email if you haven't already. Do this at dearbusinesscoachpodcast.com. And if you are a new subscriber, look for the magazine coming up. You can get a free download as a new subscriber. That's dearbusinesscoachpodcast.com. Thanks so much, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember, you are a superstar. Wow. I mean, I know that we can talk if you want to, sharing a little bit about what was going on for you around that time, because you part of what you had said to me that was really important, or what I gleaned from our conversation last time, is that you do want to share your story about this health journey that you were on, even if the journey is to say, I don't know what was going on with me, had to do something different. Was it a long time between making that decision, or having that experience and jumping into your new venture?
No, it wasn't long at all. I was actually already working with a coach, but I had just planned to do this business on the side. It was going to be a hustle per se. Like I never had expected it to be like this. But one thing I will say my coach said while I was like on my break, because my doctor had put me on FMLA, was like, if you don't go all in, and I do believe this 100%, like if you treat it like a side business, it's gonna remain a side business. Like, but if this is the only way you'll eat, then you're gonna make sure you eat. Like you're not gonna be
Right.
hungry. And so from that day forward, I wrote my resignation letter and it was time to go. So my resignation letter was written and I had already set it up in the email to go out. So I wouldn't go back and change it. I was just like, and when the time came up, my boss at the time, he was like, we will give you more money. We will take work off your plate. And I was like, it's too
Mm,
late. And I mean, of course, that sounds good, right? Who won more money and less work, right? Like it sounded amazing. But one, I knew it was not the truth.
mm.
But I think a lot of the times we just don't trust ourselves. But when you learn to trust yourself, that's when the magic happens. And I'm not going to sit up here and act like me trusting myself, I was not scared. So I don't want to sound like, oh, I just came out here like Popeye the Sailor Man and I was all strong. Absolutely not. But I think trusting yourself means being willing to make the scary decisions and still going through with it.
You are so right. Thank you for saying that and making sure to point that out. I was watching a movie not too long ago. An older, wiser woman said to a younger teenage girl in the scene to find whatever it was that she could trust. When you're out in the world and you're going on your next steps into your next steps, find whatever it is that you can trust, is essentially what this character said. And that line really stuck with me. And what you just said is bringing that idea here front and forward. And it sounds to me like um, you had found something about yourself that you could trust, because you just said that someone had offered you more money and possibly help with your position. And right there you said, and I knew that wasn't the truth. And so there was something there speaking to you. It was you speaking to you. And thank you for pointing out too that that also comes with feelings of being scared. Um, and also, can I ask you, is it scary to go into the world of fashion and selling and talking to women? Was that something that you felt you would need to sell harder to other people to justify your transition, or was that not an issue for you?
I think a lot of times that wasn't that really. Let me pause. Let me say this.
Okay.
Fashion has always been my thing. Like I've always loved fashion. I've always loved like dressing up, being girly, being cute. So not that part, but the part that was scary was always showing up because I
Mm,
was like, I don't want to get on people's nerves. I don't want to like put a reel out every day or something and then like get annoyed with me with seeing me. Um and like all of these things start playing in your head and you start having these conversations in your head and you start doubting yourself and worrying if you're doing the right thing. But what I can say about maybe 2 years in business, I just made the decision that I was going to continuously show up, and the people who were supposed to be here with me will be here, and the people who don't want to be here, they won't be with me. It's funny because, I told you I sell to women in sorority. So one day I
mhm.
went to chapter meeting and this person was like, "Hey, can I speak to you?" And I was like, "Sure." She was like, "Oh, well, I really like your content, but you send too many emails." I said, "Well, I appreciate that, but you can unsubscribe." As simple as
Yeah.
that. And like I had no like there was no emotion with it. I was serious. Like she didn't have to be there. If she didn't want to subscribe, that's fine. She can pop in when she wants to pop in. If you miss the sale, that's on you. But now I have about 20,000 subscribers. And when I tell you, I don't have people who the right people are with me, right? And unsubscribe is always there, so I don't care. And I will post as many reels. Sometimes I post 2 reels a day. Sometimes I post 3 stories a day. Now I'm showing up for my people. And if you're not my person or my people, it's okay. You don't have to be here. Unsubscribe. So I think when you get that attitude, then the right people show up and you're no longer worried and you're no longer having those things in your head. And I will admit all the reels are not great. Like some of them are really good, but some of my reels, like talking head reels, I'm still learning. I'm still exploring. I'm still trying to understand. So like some of them are not, like I said, some of them are not that great. But I had one reel alone get me 400 followers. And I was like, oh my God. And it was just because of me talking, being authentic. And so I realized who cares? Because
Mm,
400 potential followers, do you know how many sales that could equate to? So I just like, I
mm,
think when that reel happened, I really just stopped caring about, like, I mean, I said I stopped caring 2 years in, which is true. But I think when I had that type of traction, I was like, really, who cares? I can't care anymore. And so it's funny. I went to an event last year and I made a certain amount of money. And when I came back the following year, I quadrupled what I made. And you know why? It's because people knew, liked, and trusted me. And so when I go places now, people automatically want to support me. They want to show love to me. So it's like, make the video, make the content. You have to make noise. You have to realize you are not the only person selling business coaching. You are not the only person selling hair products. You are not the only person doing whatever. But how are you going to stand out? And why would somebody want to buy from you? So those are the things that you have to remember because it's easy to just want to shrink back. But it's like if you're shrinking back, nobody knows who you are. So they can't purchase from you if they don't know who you are. You don't want to bet, you don't want to do a pricing game. You don't want people to buy from you off of price because then you're going to have low quality consumers and they're only going to buy from you when there's a sale. So don't do a
mm.
pricing game. Do the game to stand out and tell people why you are the best person for whatever the service you offer is.
Wow. So wait, tell me about your choice of branding and how you chose who your target market is.
So the reason I chose Divine Nine, which is Greek letter organizations that are African American, is because one, I'm a part of it. I am a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and I know these people. So it was like, okay, I'm a part of the community already. So why don't I start at home? I mean, I know some people will say, oh, you don't have to start with home. And that is true. You don't have to start with home. But for me, it just made more sense. It seemed easier. And whatever you do, you have to pick a niche. Like, I know people are like, oh, I just want to sell this. But yeah, but who are you selling it to? You have to market directly to somebody, because if you're marketing to everybody, nobody's buying. You have to pick your cult following and whatever that is. So for instance, I'm always in the Greek world, so it's hard for me to come up with examples that are non-Greek, but I'm going to try because I know your audience is wide range. But I'll use my other example because I'm about to start helping six-figure women. So, for instance, if I had just said I help women leave their job, well, do I help women who are nannies leave their job? Or
Mm.
does it sound better to say I help six-figure earning women leave their jobs and create the same lifestyle or better? Like, that is more powerful than I help women leave their job, because there are so many women, like, we're not all the same. We're different. We have different needs. We have different things. But if I specifically call out six-figure earners, well, they know that I'm going to help them earn six figures or more, because those are the women I'm calling out. I mean, obviously, yes, if
Mm.
you and they have a different mindset, and so they're going to buy quicker from me. They're going to believe, their belief system will be different than someone who is a lower scale earner. So it is important to call out your audience, because if you don't call them out, they're not going to know that you're talking to them.
That's right. Now you have a natural skill for this. Evident at right now. You have a grasp of this language and understanding how to talk to or define for yourself who you want to talk to. You just gave us some tips. You just gave us an exact example of how you phrase who you want to talk to. Now, is this a skill that you have learned? I've gone to some fantastic workshops that have helped me think about this. Where do you get this skill from?
So I will chalk this up to my first coach. One of the activities, and these are actually two activities that I suggest that anybody who wants to go into business participates in. One
Okay.
is a little morbid, I will admit, but it was the best activity ever. And so I'm going to start with the morbid activity. He told us to write our obituary and what we would want people to say, or uh, what we would want people to say about us after we died. Now, of course, I will admit that exercise was not fun,
Mm,
but it
mm,
was very helpful, because after we wrote the obituary, we read it out loud to everybody in the group. But it was like, okay, is this true? Is this what you really want? And then I started living my life
mm.
based upon my obituary. If the things do not align with what I want in my obituary, then I will not participate and I won't do those activities. Like, if this is not going to add a checkbox to like what I want people to say on the obituary, because a lot of the times I think that we think either all money is good money or all activities are good activities, when that's absolutely not the case. Like, people think that you should take small jobs just because, and Lord, I could go into that, just because you need the money because you're just starting out.
Mm.
Absolutely not. Like, I will never do that again. When I start another venture, like, whatever the bar is, that's the bar, and we're not lowering it just to say we got some money or we got a client. Absolutely not. And then the other activity we got was to basically name our avatar. Like, what is his or her name? What is his or her age? What car do they drive? Um, Where do they work? How much money do they earn? Are they married? Do they have children? Like, you need to get all of this information. And it's very helpful with marketing because, like I said, when I make my marketing uh, items, I make sure that they are hitting directly to to my avatar. And so my avatar earns six figures. My avatar drives a luxury Jaguar. My avatar doesn't have kids. So I know exactly who I am speaking to. And so it makes it easier to make marketing materials. So I know a lot of the times we think about ourselves when we're doing marketing. We just think,
Mhm.
oh, I like this. I like this. Nobody cares about you. I mean, and I
Yeah.
don't say that in a cruel way, but you're
Yeah.
not the person buying. You need to get in your buyer's head, not your head.
Yeah, that's so funny. If you have, well, personally, I've had some sales experience, and I spent a lot of time in that field, and when you're in that position, especially entry level, especially as as a young woman at that time, I knew that what I was asking people to pay for, was something that I was out of my income level, in my opinion, and so that didn't mean I didn't understand the product or didn't understand the selling point. But you do have to kind of step out of your shoes a little bit sometimes to understand um, that, just because I might be the one who's always shopping for the deal or going to Walmart sometimes, that doesn't apply to every purchase. You can step out of your shoes and you can uh, meet your potential client, for the product or the situation, and put yourself in a mental space where you are meeting your client, your avatar. It is really exciting that you are talking about being so specific, and I've heard of people and coaches talk about this exercise with the obituary, and I'd like to come back to that in a second. But also, the avatar, you this exercise comes up a lot, and where we end up, or where I have often ended up stopping, is with, two or three bullet points about this person, which often is a gender, age, and income level, and that is so short-sighted.
Mhm.
So you are actually giving your client a name. You're talking to yourself about what kind of car they're driving. I can see this person. I can potentially. I'm thinking, oh, she's going to roll up at Starbucks, and we're going to have a meeting. I can see her getting out of her car. What kind of shoes is she wearing when she opens the car door? And that's so amazing. And then all of a sudden. That gives you a platform to connect with that person. So it's time for me to stop talking. The obituary is fascinating, though. The way you said that is so true. This is something else that you said that added an extra spin to this exercise. I've heard of this exercise before as well. However, you just said that in your experience, your writing out this obituary and reading it, thinking about it to yourself, that you wrote for yourself, made you think, is this true? Is this really what I meant to say? Is this really what I want? That is also a very skilled grasp, right? To take that exercise. You could have taken that exercise and just, okay, fine, I wrote the obituary. Great. Thanks for that exercise. But it sounds like you really addressed it and looked it in the face. Would
Mhm.
you say that?
Absolutely, I did.
Yeah, I would, whoops, not supposed to, okay. Basically, I want to get to a chance as well for you to share with me, because you are a great person to ask. African American sororities. Where do you see that African American sororities is an important place? You obviously have experience and a place to speak from as far as why these are important. So what would be your take if you would tell somebody like me who doesn't know anything about being in a sorority, or for what a sorority who is for African Americans, African American leaders, why are they important?
They are absolutely important because they are the stronghold of our community. One, for my sorority, we were the first sorority to serve. We marched in the Women's Suffrage March in 1913, where African American women were not actually even welcome to be a part of, but we still marched in the march. And so for me, that was absolutely powerful because the women were willing to take a stand even in the face of adversity. And I think that that is just a powerful thing, even today. So, today, as we go through things, we are able to lean on each other as a sisterhood, build up our communities. I mean, a lot of the times back in the day, African Americans were not afforded the same opportunities. I mean, we're still fighting for opportunities to this day, but we came up with book buses that actually went around the communities where people could get access to literature and read. We also, I think Alpha Kappa Alpha just started a bank not too long ago where African Americans can keep their money into like their community. So the sororities are very powerful in our Black communities, and they have just helped over the years. And so being a part of the sorority, in addition to all of the community service that we do, um, it's also a place to find good sisterhood with quality women. So just very happy to be a part of, and it's just an amazing sisterhood. Um, yeah. And we provide scholarships. I think that that's also important to know. We provide scholarships to women, well, not just women, to women and men who are going to college. So I think that that is very important to know.
Yes, yes. Well, okay, yeah. So I would like to learn more at some point in my career about how to be involved in supporting scholarships. I'm glad that you said that. Now, also, I want to know, should I be aware of your profile? Where do I want to find you specifically to start looking at your product, to start watching you as you're going forward with coaching other women as well? Where do I want to look you up?
So you can start with the at Arndreya. It's just my name. We're about to start a new page because my page, it's been around since I was in college, you know, when Instagram, well, I think Instagram started when I was in college. I can't remember. It's been so long at this point. Maybe it wasn't. I don't remember. I think I might have been out of college. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't remember, but it's old. And so at this point in time, that was Facebook that started when I was in college. This Instagram is newer. So we're going to be starting a new page where I launch my coaching information so people don't have to, like my friends and family, don't have to see that. They will just get to see my life. And then if you just want to be a part of my life, you'll be able to see all aspects of my life. You'll get to see the at Eleanor Greek, and you'll get to see the coaching. I will intertwine things in there, but the at Arndreya page is where you want to start, and I will be providing links so you can start seeing the new coaching and all of that stuff.
Okay, so I great. So I can include that with this episode then.
Yep.
Okay. Well, all right. So let me get back on track here. We have maybe a couple minutes left. Are you okay on time right now? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll let you get going to the rest of your day. I know you have probably lots of exciting people to talk to, and so I want to know. You did mention that you chose to start talking to your sorority members, people that you're um, yeah, you said that are like your home, right? Start at home. And so that that is one of the challenges for people starting their own brand, I think, is the balance of understanding selling to friends and family and networking. This is a real challenge. I mean, you seem like someone who knows how to just jump right in and do it. And what do you mean by start at home? Why is that important?
So let me just tell you, you're seeing the third year uh, pro, product. Like, so that is different. Okay. So let's give
Okay.
everybody grace because everybody is in a different part of their journey. When I first started, I won't lie, I was nervous. I was like, oh my God, like I'm gonna have to ask these people to help me. But I did it anyway because I was just like, I don't have anything else. Like, so I'm just gonna ask these people to help me. And the thing is, I didn't get as much help as I thought I should have received. I don't
Mm,
know if I don't want to sound cocky, I don't want to sound anything, but I thought people would be more supportive. But I am grateful for the support I did receive. But I will tell you that I've had other friends start businesses and they have received zero support. And what I will
mm,
tell you is that what you will likely find is that your biggest supporters are not going to be your friends and family. They're going to
mm,
be people who you barely even know. I literally have people who come up to me, know me by name, and I don't know who they are. Okay. I mean, I interact with a lot of people, so that's not uncommon. Like when we go to these events, there are thousands of people, but they know, like, and trust me. But that's okay. And they tell me, I know you have a lot of people, but I love you. You inspire me. All of these
mm.
things. So they buy, and when I tell you, when I go through my Shopify list, they buy everything that I sell. So it's like, do not rely on your family and friends. And if that's the reason why you're nervous or scared, which I won't lie, nobody wants to be cringy. Like, and cringy is learning. I just told you my reels. I'm like, ooh, I look back at some reels from September. I'm like, ooh, you posted that? Like, ooh. And I don't even, but I actually kind of laugh at it now. It's kind of funny and it's kind of cute to me. But it's like when you see these level reels, but then when I'm in a professional studio or get to that point, it's going to be like, oh my God, I knew her when she made these reels in her bathroom. And
That's right.
so those are going to be the people who are going to support you hands down. It's been noted, or people say, I don't know how factual it is, but I've heard this stated several times that 20% of your customers are going to provide 80% of your revenue. So
Mhm.
at the end of the day, we need to hurry up and find these 20% of the people. So okay, the other people, they're going to be one and doneers. They're not going to stick. They're going to buy because it's on sale. They're going to buy because you just caught them at the right time. But then they're going to be the people who are going to buy because it's you. They love your sauce. They love your hair. They love your style. They love your nails. They love
Yeah.
that you are confident and they love how you make them feel. And that's why they're going to buy. So, what I would say is if you're about to start a business or have started a business, but you're scared to post because you don't want your mother or your father or your sister or whoever to see, start the business page and block all of them. Okay. Just block them.
Yeah. Okay.
Block them. That's an easy way, and then they won't see. So, and if they make up a fake page, they would have to do that. Just block them and keep it moving so you don't stop your growth. Because once you get comfortable with being cringy and start trying, you'll take off. I will tell you this: we started last year with about mm, maybe 3,500 followers or 3,000 followers. We're now at 8,600 followers and about to hit 10K in less than a year. So I think, and when I say less than a year, I mean last year when we started, we had 3,500 and we'll be hitting 10K by in a year. So just do it and be open to being cringy. It's really okay. I think that stops a lot of people. You
Yes.
want to look like the problem is you're trying to look like Beyonce, at the Super Bowl when you haven't even started. Like you haven't even started practicing, but you want to look like Beyonce at the Super Bowl, and that's unrealistic. Like you have to look unpolished first to get to the polished look.
Okay, I knew that I was going to enjoy this conversation. Before we started recording, I said I'm going to learn some new stuff today. I mean, it really is important to hear. And so I want to be looking out for your Instagram page, is what I'm understanding. And so that right now is at Andrea, your name, correct? Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And so what I want to do is make sure that I know I've said it before, but look out for your magazine article that will come in a couple of months. And then of course this episode will be featured in the email newsletter. So Dear Business Coach podcast subscribers will have the email that features your episode. And then of course Hopefully, I can have you back at some point and talk to you again about where your brand is next time. And so I can actually look out for your coaching and check out your products on Spotify, Shopify.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. I would love to come back because I know for me, business coaching is not this is I know you didn't ask, but I just want to give people a little bit of advice. Like because I have to end with advice because I yeah, I believe in helping women. If you do not invest in yourself, whether it's a coaching program, whether it is specifically getting coaching one on one or something, you have to invest in yourself. I just signed up for a, uh, well, not just, it's been a year now, coaching program, but it was life changing. And I remember when I worked my 9 to 5, the idea of me spending 20K on a coaching program was absolutely insane. So I want to
Mhm.
let your listeners know that I know it sounds insane, but if you don't invest in yourself, you're not going anywhere. And as you invest in yourself, other people will invest in you because they are like, oh, she's taking this serious, and the opportunities will come. So I know it's scary. Like, you have to do the thing scare. If you were comfortable, everybody would be doing it. Like, that's just the case. If it was comfortable to shell out $20,000 when you're making $150,000, then everybody would do it. It's not comfortable. It would change my lifestyle. So, like, you just have to make the commitment that you are worthy, you are enough, and you are worth the investment. So invest in yourself. Now, obviously, you have to find the right coaching program. I'm not saying that some people are not
Mhm.
scammers. Like, I'm very honest, but find the right coaching program for you, and don't go around saying, "Oh, this person's a scammer. Oh, this person's a scammer." Go do your research. Some people are scammers, but do your research. I will say the reason why I picked my coach is because he didn't have all these fast cars. He just seemed like a normal family man who happened, I won't say happened because he didn't just happen chance have it together, but he has it together. And even my coach now, if you saw him, you really would not know that he was wealthy. But that man has more
Mhm.
money than a little bit, okay?
Mhm.
But this is the thing, like, I don't like flashy people and things because it gives me a side eye. I'm like, what are you doing? I feel like I need to see receipts. Like, I need to see to know who you've worked with. I need to be able to speak to your other clients. Like, that is a way to do research. Ask the coach, can you speak to their other clients? So you can actually ask them questions, not an email, actually ask to speak to them. These are the ways that you can prove, like, oh, okay, well, this person, they worked a 9 to 5. Now they left their 9 to 5 and they have results because they worked with this person. That's the way to do research. Don't just like look at their funnel and look at the reviews. Okay, come on now. Like, dive deep.
Yes, yes. That's yes. Well, thank you for saying that. Yes. Well, I want you to feel free to share advice. That is what we're here for. Thank you. And that I'm going to pull this quote. Oh, she's serious. That's what we want people to know.
Yes. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming today. And I know there's so much more we can unpack, and we will do that too again if we have an opportunity. And I hope you have a fantastic afternoon.
You too, Elizabeth. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Andrea.
Bye.
Bye bye. Are you a LinkedIn user? If you are, you can join me for LinkedIn Live Audio with Elizabeth every week, usually on Mondays at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I will have a LinkedIn Live Audio where we talk about podcasting for executives who speak and podcasting for team leaders who speak. These are the themes that are currently running. If that sounds like something you're interested, visit me, Elizabeth Walker at Work, on my LinkedIn profile.